Welcome to another Epi, boys. We're here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. This is my backyard for our first ever episode of Riverside with Ryan. Today's special guest, we have my dad, Papa Wolf, Mr. Randall Johnston himself. Thanks for coming on the show, Pops. He's a little camera shy, but that's okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about, I have a story that I would like to tell that is going to help all of my players that I teach out there. It's something I share with them with every and clinics and camps that we do. And then Pops here is going to share one of his favorite stories of raising me as a young hockey player. I personally never had private lessons or anything else. I didn't need them because my dad has a very accomplished hockey career in his past as well, and he taught me everything I know. So without further ado, thanks again for coming on the show. So the one thing I think about, my very first hockey lesson was when I was about 8 years old. I remember I was outside playing around. I think I had a couple friends, and I wanted to stick handle through everybody, which is a problem I see all the time with kids. And I remember you came out, you stopped the game, and you said, wait a minute. You took the puck, and you said, come get it from me. So here I am, I skate all over to him, right? And he takes the puck, and he had these little 2x4 boards that he made. He banks the puck, he walks right around me, and shoots it in the net. And I said, And he told me that day, he said, let the puck do the work. You don't have to stick handle around the whole entire team. You can use the boards, put the puck off the boards, and it was the most effective little play. Keep it simple, and it created a scoring chance. And that's something that I teach players all the time. It seems like so many kids want to do toe drags and backhand toe drags, flipping the puck over guys' sticks, slip throughs, all sorts of fancy things. And those things are really good and beneficial. But if there's a simpler way to do things, it's always going to be more effective and with more speed. So I remember that was the very first lesson that you ever taught me, and it's something that I never forget, even when I still play. Today, I find myself doing it.
In my early years, was one of the primary things that our coaches would say to us, is just let the boards be an extra man of attack on the play.
Yep.
And you can bank it off on your backhand. As it caroms off, you skate forward, the defenseman's flat-footed, and you're racing, and you see it pop right up backwards.
Exactly.
And away you go.
Yep, no, I never forgot that. So thanks, Pops. Still use that to this day.
Okay.
So my question to you, I'm only going to ask you one question today. But the one question I had for you is, when you think about my progression as a little guy, going up through the ranks, and now here I am, got my own group of players that I'm working with now down in Florida and across the country, really, with all the other camps that we do. What would be the one story, or give some of the players an idea of what I did to practice and work hard, and how I progressed in my skills throughout the years? What's something that stands out to you?
Well, I have to even go back to my roots with my father. My dad was always very adamant about the fact that you have to be a good skater.
Very true.
And now I've been playing hockey this is my 60th year in hockey.
Wow.
And I'm still playing. I'm about to get a knee fix that hurts pretty bad right now, but that's what you pay for when you're a hockey player. Elbows, knees.
Knee replacement Monday morning. Hopefully he'll be back for the summer.
Oh, we'll be back for the camps, but it's sore. But anyways, that's just the things that you put up with as an athlete. When you want to play any type of sport, you're going to have injuries. However, I remember my father always saying to me, he says, you got to be a good skater. And the first thing I wanted to do as a kid was just take my puck, go in my back outdoor rink. Now, just as a thought, in Canada, in December for us, here in Canada, like this river here would probably be frozen over. We're fortunate we're on the mouth of a major lake, so this is a river that flows in the back of our home. But in normal places where the water doesn't flow like it does here for us year round, this doesn't freeze, but when it does freeze, it's like pond hockey. You can play hockey on a pond. See? And this is where I was raised to play hockey in a beaver pond and an outdoor rink. But my dad would always say, before you can do all the funny things with the puck, you got to learn how to skate.
It's 90% of the game.
So in 1959, believe it or not, my father got me my first pair of skates. And he made me a rink in the backyard of our house. So in December, it's very cold, and you're able to have an outdoor rink. In October, where I came from in the northern part of Canada, of Ontario, we could skate on the Beaver Pond in October. And so because of that, all the kids, we got to be very efficient skaters. And then we lived on a lake on top of that, and the lake was 14 miles long. And literally we would skate the lake. Now, this was fun if you were skating out with the wind, but when you had to come back home, I'll tell you, then your thighs and your legs got to learn how to really build themselves up as what we all became very good skaters. So my dad was very adamant about the fact that you got to learn how to skate, and so I learned how to skate first. And he always said, "You're skating on your ankles. You're skating on your ankles." No, I'm not. Yes, you are. So we'd have this debate all the time, my father and I. And you know, if your parents say, you know, work harder, it's because whether it's in school, being the best mathematician in your class, in math class, because I know you all love math. Most hockey players don't like that. But anyway, it's not an easy subject. But the thing is that whatever you put your mind to, you can learn to do. Right, Coach?
Yep.
And so don't ever think, well, I can't do it. You know what? To be a good musician on any instrument, Beethoven didn't just say, I'm going to write a song one day and say, hey, look what I got. No, it takes time, it takes practice, it takes thought. The same as any sport. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes thought. Think about what you want to do and do it in progressions, step by step. And so the first step, as we talked about in 1959, I learned how to skate. So when Ryan was a little guy, when he was born in 1982, before you were born, sorry, I got married in 82. But in 1984, Ryan, you know, he was the first born boy, and then Greg Linden, who's a master player himself, he came along a little later, so we had a trio, and I'm proud of that because I got to play with my boys. I felt like Gordie Howe. Never made the money Gordie did, but hey, family is more important than just making money.
Right.
So I put Ryan on our patio. We had a patio, and as you walked out our back door of our other house, it wasn't this area here, we bought this recently, but the house that we used to have in the city while the kids were in school had a pool and a nice big deck on the back of the house. It was 24 feet wide, and I think it was 14 or 18 feet deep. And I happened to have a spare pool cover that year. I bought a new...
That you close the pool with, the black tarps, right?
In Canada, we shut down. Everything freezes, so you got to shut down your pool drain and put a cover over it. So that's what we did. But I needed a new cover that year, and I went and bought a new one, and I had this extra cover, and I never ended up throwing it away. And then one day I had a light bulb moment, as they say. And I said, hey, I can turn that thing inside out and put it on top of my deck, and Ryan could learn to play hockey. And it was just like deja vu of my dad sticking me outside. And where was my dad when I was outside in 40 below? He was in the window looking out the window at me as I was freezing to death. And that's how we learned how to play hockey. Until we were so cold, we'd come in the house crying, literally crying, because our feet were frozen. But we still went back out the next day because we loved to play hockey.
Right.
So I turned this liner inside out, filled it with water, and it froze instantly overnight. The next day, I said, Ryan, I says, look, I made a rink for you. So Ryan got all excited, put his little skates on, and they were the Wayne Gretzky model.
Doused. Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky hockey skates.
Doused. Yeah.
Dow.
They're French.
That's we love.
C'est bon.
C'est bon. So anyways, Ryan gets out there, and it was cold. He said, Daddy, you gonna come? I said, you know what, Ryan? I'm gonna. And I had a fireplace to my left. My couch was like I'm sitting here. And Ryan was in the big patio window. I'm watching him go by. And
fun fact, I absolutely hate cold weather, which is why the first opportunity I had to move to Florida, I did. The only reason why I would go outside in winter was not to make a snowman or a fort or go tobogganing or anything like that. It was only to play hockey, and that was it.
And my mother would say the same thing to me when I was a boy growing up. She says, Brand, she says, you love playing hockey. Why do you hate winter so much? I said, Mom, I hate winter. And now we live in the South because we're retired in the winter, but we come back to Canada because Canada's a beautiful country in the summer, as you can see.
Yeah.
You know, this is fresh water. You can drink that water. It's so crystal clean and clear. You know, no problem.
So I'm whipping around, minus 40.
Minus 40, he's whipping around. But there was one thing in my calculation of my intelligence I overlooked. And this just shows you my intelligence wasn't too bright. On my patio, I had 14 little lampposts with beautiful cylinder lights on, like snowballs.
They looked like the Epcot ball.
Yes, they were.
I remember. I used to call them that.
Yeah, and we had 14 of them because they marked out the entire deck, and it led out to the pool. And they were on a dimmer switch inside the house, so we could dim them for an ambiance. But at night, if we wanted them really bright for Ryan, it looked like a big, beautiful hockey stadium for a little guy.
Right.
So Ryan's out there and he says, "Daddy, watch this, watch this." And the first shot he takes, he hits the light bulb and he blows up my light.
Snipe show, boys.
And I said, I didn't know what to say. I said,
Nice shot.
I was impressed that he could shoot that well because he now he had.
8.
But what was interesting, he was learning to skate and control a puck finally.
Right.
And I said, "This is so cool." But yet, there goes one light bulb. I said, "Okay, it's only one lantern. It was a lucky shot." Now, if you watch the episodes before this little
There's a lot of tricks and snipes and
Ryan shoots a shot of coffee off the top of a hockey net in his schoolyard that he went to public school.
Yeah.
Well, he owes me a coffee, number one, because that was my coffee.
Well, I bought that one this morning, so
well, yeah, well,
we're even.
Well, you're never even when you're a pops. That you are. So anyways, I lost the coffee this morning, but it just shows you that you can learn to shoot like that. And he was learning to shoot like that at 6 years of age, 7 or something like that. It was very young. And so I said, "This is really good." So I said, "No, we'll get a rubber tire." So he liked the rubber tire. So he started using the rubber tire for a little while.
I mean the rubber puck.
No, a rubber tire with a hole. Remember when I was a kid, in my basement, my dad would let me shoot. And if you shoot the puck inside the rubber tire, into the big hole, you know, that was like the net, and you could practice your shots at a low degree. Well, Ryan still liked picking off the light bulb so much, by the end of the winter, I was down to, out of 14, I had one left standing. So, needless to say, it was a lesson well taken on my part. I learned that, well, this kid's going to get somewhere in hockey because he loves the game, but I got to figure out a different route for this guy. And after that, I kind of abandoned that idea of putting my rink on the back yard. But I must say, one thought that comes to mind, before my dad passed away, he came to visit. Do you remember that day we were out with Grandpa?
Well, I have
Grandpa
a lot of
was
memories of Grandpa.
Well,
so.
but Grandpa literally was out there with his boots on, and he came out and played with us on that little rink.
I do remember.
You were
that,
very
yeah.
young, but and that day it melted my heart because it was like father, son, and now the little son, you know. And that's what hockey has done for our family, because we love hockey as a family, but every sport is good, but hockey to Canadian is something special.
Well, we come from a generation of hockey players.
Yeah, and Grandpa was an excellent hockey player.
And great so.
Yeah, and they're European, so not meaning that they're better. It's just that it seems in colder climates, we're fortunate because we get to skate a little more than the average Southerner.
That definitely helps, for sure.
Yeah. But anyways, thanks for asking.
Well, Dad, thanks a lot for coming on the show, Riverside. We'll call it Riverside with R&R, a little R&R with R&R. Randy and Ryan doing a little relaxation.
Randy.
Yeah, okay, Randy. Papa Wolf. All right, thanks, my friend. Love you.
Love you too, buddy.
Have a good surgery on Monday, and we'll see you guys this winter. We're going to come here, do all the same shots again. We're going to go back to all the same outdoor rinks again, do more tricks, maybe even get Daddy-O here on another epi for everybody. Maybe we can get you on skates. Hopefully your knee will be better, and we can go and play a little on the outdoor rink. So
and we'll take the shot right from the same 2 seats, in the same location, but with snow around us.
Yeah, maybe knock off a few more Kimmy Cups. All right, boys. We'll see you back in Florida. It's been real. Thanks again.